Hi everyone, hello, welcome back to my kitchen and channel. So today I'm going to show you how I make my peas puri using freshly shelled pigeon peas. So this peas has to boil, it has to go into hot water on the stove and boil until it's softened, and just before it reaches that softened texture, I have my pimento peppers that will go in whole. I have 3 cloves of garlic will go in whole. My salt will go in at the beginning when it's boiling, but this will go in kind of like last minute, because when everything is softened up, it has to go into the mini chopper or the food mill to grind into that mixture to fill our rotis. So for the dough, let's get started on our rotis. I have here flour. I have here baking powder and baking soda. If you can see the difference, the baking powder is on this side, the baking soda is on that side. It's a little more on the white shiny side. So in goes that. I have my oil here, will go in while it's kneading. So let me get my water and start to knead this and put it together. So I have my flour, my baking powder, my baking soda. Give this a mix. Now peas puri is just like, it's similar to dal puri or aloo roti. It's just using the fresh pigeon peas. I grew up eating this on a Sunday with curries. My mommy used to make it, and she still makes it though. It's just I do it my way now. So I have here everything that's combined, incorporated, all the baking powder and the baking soda. The baking soda is to soften that roti when it's cooking. I do not add salt to my dough. If you want to add a teaspoon of salt, feel free to do it. My salt is going to go into the peas when it's boiling. I'm going to flavor that filling. So and your dough isn't hard to mix. I will of course tell you how much liquid and all the rest of the ingredients, the measurements, in the description box. Don't forget to like, share my video and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Now the dough isn't hard to make. You just have to do a little bit until you've incorporated all that flour with that liquid. And then you can form it into that one dough ball. I like to feel that consistency as I go along, because I want a nice soft roti in the end. It's going to be a nice soft roti combined with a very delicious filling. So now that everything is the flour is incorporated into that liquid, now we can start to form our one dough ball. And now I will add some of my oil. Will go in. So that's just about 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of water that I used to 5 cups of flour. And just mix everything together. When you add that oil, it will help it from not sticking to your hands or fingers, and it will knead a little lighter. Now that it has starting to form like a dough ball, you're going to add a little more oil to the top, a little more oil to the bottom. Make sure the bottom is covered with that, coated with that oil. The oil is optional as well too, but I find when you use a little bit of oil, it just helps that dough to be a little more on the lighter and softer side, and it's easier to handle. But if you want to skip the oil and just use that water, that's fine. It's just going to be a more sticky dough to handle. And now that this has kneaded and it's a nice soft consistency, let me give you that closer look to it. It's a nice soft consistency, as you can see. That's all there is to it. So now that it has kneaded, what I'm going to do is put my little bit of oil at the bottom. And I'm going to leave it to soak. I'm going to cover it with a plastic wrap or clean wrap and my kitchen towel, and I'm going to leave this to soak in here with all that ingredients, the baking powder, the baking soda, and let it just sit there for at least 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. So as I say, cover it with that plastic wrap and kitchen towel and just leave it. I'll show you the next step to make the dough balls when it's ready. In the meantime, I'm going to put my peas to boil and I'm going to show you guys that step. So here I have my water that's been heating, and I have my washed pigeon peas that goes in. And when you put it in the water, you will get a little bit of peas, the smaller ones coming up. Just fish them out. Those are called the dead ones, or the shallow ones that has nothing really in it. And we're going to give this a mix. We're going to add our salt to it, and we're going to let this come up to a boil until this peas is softened on the softened side. And that's going to be our filling for our rotis. I will add in the pepper and the garlic about 10 minutes before it's finished to soften up that garlic and pepper, because I want everything to be soft when it goes into that mini chopper to process or to chop. It has to process very fine. You can use your food processor as well too. And I'll show you when it's finished what we have to do with this peas. Our peas is cracked. So now I will add my garlic together with my pepper, and this is just for it to soften up, because once that goes into the mini chopper or the food processor or the food mill, everything is going to be grinded to the peppers and the garlic is going to be softened. It's not going to have anything to burst your rotis. And I will also add in half of diced onions together with that to soften up. And as I said, once everything softens up and it goes into that mini chopper to grind, everything is going to be soft. It's not going to have anything hard to burst your roti. So this won't take long. This is just like a 5 minutes process here, and then I will strain or drain my peas, because as you can see, the peas is already softened. It's cracked, see? So I just need that pepper, garlic, and onion to soften up, and then I'll drain it and show you the process in the mini chopper or food processor. So I have drained it out. You're gonna let this cool down and come to room temperature before we move on to processing it in the mini chopper or food processor. My peas is cooled out, and I am going to add garlic, pimento peppers, peas, and I'm going to do this in my mini chopper, seeing that I was already using my mini chopper for the morning instead of using my food processor, which would have been faster. But now let me just get this grinding and I'll show you guys. This is what you're going to end up with after it is done in the mini chopper, and you're going to taste for that salt, and we're just going to press it with the spoon, the back of the spoon, just to make sure all is softened and processed. And it's time to make our roti balls or dough balls and fill them up with this mixture, this peas mixture. So let's get started. So here I have my dough that's ready. It's ready to be made into those individual dough balls. So we're just going to give it that knead. See how soft and nice our dough is. So we're just going to cut them now. We're going to form them into our little doughs. Have your flour at the side and another bowl to dust your hands. And if it's on the sticky side, just dust your hands with flour and form them. So I'm going to continue making my dough balls and I'll show you. And that's it. Time to fill the dough balls with our peas mixture. A little trick is you're going to get a half cup, or you can use a quarter cup, and we're going to fill it with our mixture. It's just like when I'm making that dal puri, right? And we will have, make a bowl if you want, and we're going to open out our doughs, and we're going to place one inside, and we're going to bring up, just press it down while bringing up the outside. And that's it, easy. Dip it in that bowl with that flour, place it back, and open out another one. Get the next one. Open back out our dough, place it, and bring up our dough to close it in. So let me do the rest and show you the next steps. All is filled out now, so let me get showing you how to roll the roti and place them on the tawah to make them. Flatten it from the middle and right around. Press down the ends or the edges. Now we're going to roll it out. Roll out the edges. Let's move over to the stove. Make sure our tawah is heated well. Brush with oil. Place our roti on the tawah. And once we see that bubble starts to form, we will flip it. In the meantime, you can roll out another one. Time to flip that roti because the bubbles are starting to form. Brush that roti with that oil. Flip back our roti. Brush with that oil, and our roti will start to swell. Once it starts to swell, we're going to gently flip it back. Let that roti continue to swell. Right around. And you see how thin and nice and light that is. That is what we are looking for. Now it's time to take our roti out from here. We're going to gently raise it up, let that air come out of it, fold it, and flip it. See how soft and nice? Really nice peas puri, similar to the dal puri or the aloo roti.